Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being with us, and welcome to opening day of this Belmont Racing Festival. Already feels like it's going to be a great day here at Saratoga Racecourse.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm Caitlin Arlo. We are live here at the stretch at Saratoga Racecourse ahead of opening day for the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival. Chris, it feels so good to be here right now. Yep. We have team coverage for you this morning. We have Tamara Starr live downtown for us this morning, previewing the big concert tonight. Christina Talamo here to talk about the weather, of course. Big, important next few days for that weather forecast, of course. And we have Allie Hoy is going to be speaking to different businesses ahead of the next 4 days for this big racing festival.
Right. Not only is it important for businesses downtown, which we've really focused on, but think about all the local vendors that are stationed right here at Saratoga Racecourse for these 5 days of racing. Remember, one more day this year as opposed to last year. Yeah,
a lot to look forward to. Before we get into all those stories and more, it's important to talk about what we're going to be looking forward to throughout our newscast this morning, the next 2 hours. We're recognizing just how historic this 5-day racing festival will be for the city.
Last year's Triple Crown program brought more than 120,000 people to the track alone, tens of thousands more just to the area to enjoy the whole environment and entertainment of it all over the course of 4 days. Then the crowd peaked on Saturday, of course, here at the race course as a capped attendance of 50,000 people paid to see 14 races, including the Belmont Stakes. If you were here last year the way I was, it sure felt like more than 50,000 people. The Saratoga County Chamber of Commerce says while some businesses reported record revenue, others struggled to bring in customers. And so city leaders are reminding everyone there's more to do than just hang out at the race course all day.
Yeah, and they're definitely prepared this year. They saw what it was going to be like last year, and now they're even more prepared this year for people. Yeah,
and we know there will be no shortage of money flowing at the track either. Talk about records. Records were set last year as well. Betting records on Belmont, more than $125 million
placed in bets on Saturday. The Belmont last year, it was a 6% increase from 2023's record of $118 million. People wagered more than $60 million just on the Belmont Stakes alone. Naira is hoping for another strong performance this week as racing fans start to flock the Spa City. So much to look forward to.
All right, so who are they going to be betting on? Here you go. A look at the field for Saturday. It is star-studded when you consider we have both the Kentucky Derby and Preakness winners going into the starting gate. Plus, Hall of Fame trainers Bob Baffert and Todd Pletcher have horses in this race. And, of course, Mechanicville native Chad Brown will send Hill Road to the one post. Baeza should not be overlooked either. But certainly the top favorites, Journalism and Sovereignty, are getting the headlines. Post time on Saturday for the Belmont is at 7:04, and we will keep our fingers crossed that the weather cooperates for this big race.
Yeah, we know this is a big deal, right? Worrying about the weather today, though, it's going to be hot. Okay, it's going to be hot. I'm looking forward to it. I know that Christina told me. I like the warm weather. Okay. Christina told me that by noon, though, I better just accept that my hair is going to be all frizz. It's going to be humid. So let's get a look at that first warning forecast on this Wednesday morning, kicking off the Belmont Festival. Christina Talamo. Good morning, Christina.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I know you can see Caitlin's hair looks fabulous right now. She was worried about the humidity this morning, but it's feeling cool. It's feeling comfortable. Actually quite refreshing out there this morning. I actually just took off the jacket to get ready for the show. But later on today, that's a totally different story. But good news is it will stay dry. We'll take a live look outside Saratoga Springs there, down over Broadway. Different story later on this evening. It's going to be quite busy out there, and we'll see that sunrise shortly. Bit of a milky appearance to the sunshine today. Once again, with that elevated wildfire smoke. When it comes to those temperatures, we're in the 40s and the 50s to start off this morning. So once again, feeling cool, and the humidity is down. We talk about the dew point temperature. That's a measure of the humidity. Higher that number goes, the more uncomfortable it will feel. So that's the good news with those dew points in the 40s right now. It means it's feeling really nice. No humidity to talk about yet this morning, but bit of a different story by later on today and into tomorrow. Quiet and dry. High pressure keeps us quiet and dry for today. That's the good news. So hour by hour forecast, we'll see temperatures close to 80 degrees by lunchtime, and then those temperatures will continue to go up from there this afternoon. Highs in the upper 80s later on today. So a bit of a different story to prepare for. I'll talk more about what you can expect heading into the upcoming weekend. Busy couple of days. Back to you guys.
All right, Christina, thanks. 5 minutes after 5 now, and Christina showed us Broadway in downtown Saratoga Springs. We'll give you a look at the Northway here near exit 6, routes 2 and 7. It's quiet out there, but already looks like it's going to be a nice sunrise and nice day ahead for us. Of course, the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival is here in Saratoga Springs for the second time now. We're anticipating maybe even a third time, but let's live in the present. The celebration starts before the horses really even arrive at the race course.
Yeah, we know the big concert on Broadway tonight. A lot of people looking forward to that with the Jim Blossoms headlining that concert. Our Tamara Star is live for us downtown on Broadway with a preview of this big kickoff event. Tamara, it's going to be quite the day out there.
It is going to be an amazing day out here, and I'm live right in front of Saratoga Springs City Center when honestly the streets are empty right now, but later today it was going to be filled with people transforming the area into a concert venue, all about celebrating the Belmont Stakes. Now, Belmont on Broadway is featuring a free concert with no other than the Gin Blossoms tonight from 7 to 10 p.m. And the setup has already kicked off with Broadway closed from Van Dam Street to Lake Avenue until 2 a.m. tomorrow. But of course, the main reason why many music lovers will be showing up is because of the Gin Blossoms performing. And we were able to catch up with one of the members of the band who says he is ready not just for the performance, but for everything Saratoga has to offer.
I feel very comfortable there. People are very warm. We've played there quite a bit, and we've always stayed at this lovely resort right on that famous street of little curio shops and seltzer water.
And of course, organizers ask you to leave the coolers, backpacks, strollers, and pets at home, and no alcohol, glass, or smoking inside the event space is allowed. And if you need to sit, organizers are asking everyone to bring a folding chair, but not in a bag. And coming up later, we're going to hear more from Discover Saratoga to talk about more about the many events that are going to be surrounding this event about the Belmont Stakes that could attract anybody within the family or even your neighborhood. But coming up next, let's go toss it over to Christina, who will tell us how the weather's going to look like this week for the celebrations.
Thank you, Tamara. Yeah, we talk about the weather a lot. Again, busy next couple of days. But one thing to talk about, again, weather impacts every outdoor sport. So why should horse racing be any different? We talked to some experts to get into a little bit more of how much weather can impact the outcome on race day.
We all know that the weather changes on a daily basis, and when it comes to horse racing, weather can drastically affect all aspects of the sport. This includes track conditions, the performances of certain horses, and on some days, it can even dramatically impact race outcomes. We spoke to Jim Bond, head trainer and owner of Bond Racing Stables, who has experienced it all when it comes to weather on race day. Bond says that training 7 days a week in all types of weather, including rain and snow, helps his horses adapt to the different conditions.
Horses have to get used to it, and you kind of watch their gait and how they handle it. And it's almost like somebody walking across ice. Some people walk over ice very gingerly. Some people just have a confidence to kind of walk over it like they're not going to slip and fall. If they're not handling it, the jockey can say go, and they say no.
When it comes to wet weather, Bond says that all tracks are different in the rain, and wet track conditions can even be different based on how much rain falls.
You know, every muddy track is different. Depends on how much rain we get. So you may have a sloppy racetrack, you may have a dry and out racetrack, a heavy racetrack. So some horses, just don't like a heavy racetrack. So that's why you see a lot of scratches when a turf race comes off. Turf horses are usually weak behind, so they don't push off. And so when you put them on the dirt, they've got no engine to push them forward.
When it comes to whether or not a horse will handle a wet track well, it can also depend on their pedigree.
There's certain pedigrees that I've seen in my lifetime that, boy, when you put them in the mud, oh my God, they just move up. I had one horse win 3 in a 24-day cycle here at Saratoga one year.
So if you've heard the phrase, mother was a mutter before, there is definitely some truth to it. Running styles and post position can also make a big difference when racing in the mud, favoring front runners.
So if you have a young horse, I always tell my riders, better to throw mud than have mud thrown at you. So if you've got an inside post, 1, 2, 3, and you've got speed, use it to your advantage. They have 4 horse, 5 horses in front of them throwing mud at them, they back up. So you lose your position in the race, and it's very hard to kind of close on a lot of muddy tracks sometimes.
When it comes to equipment on a wet race day, jockeys will sometimes wear up to 8 or 9 pairs of goggles for one race, ripping off each pair as mud gets kicked up in their faces. The horses, though, of course, don't have goggles, and because of that, trainers sometimes use shatteralls to help slow down the mud and keep it away from the horse's eyes.
On the horses, okay, actually some shatteralls sometimes. You'll see a real on their fuzzies around their middle of their nose, and that'll kind of just be a buffer, okay, to kind of stop that from hitting them sometimes. So you'll see a lot of trainers, Baffert uses that a lot. Most of Baffert's horses run in shatteralls.
But one of the key things is always listening to your riders, and as Bond says, you better know your horses.
I have really good riders, okay, and they're all mic'd, okay, so they'll tell me, boss, this horse really moves over this really well, you know, so, you know, you got to listen to your people.
So when you're out there placing your bets on your phone for the big race on Saturday, make sure to pull up that first warning weather app so you can check out those track conditions as well. Caitlin, Chris, back to you.
All right, Christina, thank you. Hopefully that first warning weather app will show us nothing but sunny skies, but we know how this goes.
Yep.
So much more to come here with our full team morning coverage. Here's what we're looking forward to, taking you up until 7 a.m.
Christina comes back with a first look at our brand new weather vehicle and, of course, that all-important first warning forecast for the concert tonight and the Belmont Stakes on Saturday.
Plus, when it comes to a Triple Crown race, we all want to look and feel our best. Fellas first for a change. Here we go, guys. Mark Mulholland and I are checking out how to dress it up as a dude this year.
First is the worst, second is the best. The local brand, Pick 6 Vodka, is putting its twist on the Belmont Jewel, swapping out the bourbon for what else? Vodka. Great time of day for some vodka. We will talk live with the owner of Pick 6.
And Matthew DeSantis from Naira Bets will get us primed with some smart plays for this Belmont Racing Festival. All of that still ahead here on News Channel 13 today.